All right, minimum wage wahala, minimum wage troubles. Um, Federal government offers 62k, labor demands 250k. I think somebody else was also saying 100k potentially. They're still, I guess, tomorrow potentially they might be going back to strike. But let me read this short story on the cable.ng. It says the federal government has increased its offer for the new minimum wage for workers from 60,000 naira to 62,000 naira. Channels Television reports that the figure was arrived at on Friday during a meeting between federal government representatives and labor leaders called to deliberate on the new minimum wage. The cable understands that organized labor, on the other hand, has proposed a 250,000 naira minimum wage. Earlier on, after a meeting, Hope Uzodinma, governor of Lagos State of Imo State, said the tripartite committee on the minimum wage is close to reaching a consensus. The governor said he was confident that a concrete agreement will be reached in a few minutes. All right, this thing is just, I think that's one point they were offering. Somebody said something about 600,000 naira. I think 494,000 naira. I mean, a lot of people have concluded that that's
From
unreal.
600,000 plus to 400,000 plus. But let
400,000.
me capture the attitude of the Nigerian government in this popular um, local saying
Mm-hmm.
in our area, in our community back home in Ondo State. It's almost like saying, "What a pity for a
Hmm.
whole congregation to find it difficult to recite the Lord's Prayer." Ó mà ṣe o, tí
Hmm.
gbogbo òjò kan ka bàbá wa tí ń bẹ lọ́run tì, ó ṣe lára Lérìdà. So you blame that on Lérìdà. You blame it on the government of Nigeria. How much is 250,000 naira? Not even up to $200.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nigeria pretends to be a great nation. The leaders say all kinds of empty stuff about the prospect of that nation, about the promise of hope for that nation. So tell me, where is this renewed hope now? If Nigeria as a nation, if the leaders cannot have this mindset and say, okay, we are not going to pay anybody less than $200 a month.
Hmm.
What is the big deal? They dangle such a huge name to overwhelm a dog. The big money they are dangling, you weigh it against major international currencies. It's even nothing. Pittance. And then they make it look like they are doing the workers' favor. And I find all kinds of otherwise brilliant editors and opinion leaders coming out to say all kinds of trash against labor leadership in Nigeria. I even listened to one the other day that is talking as if it's an extension of the government of the day in Nigeria. A journalist threatening, issuing threat against labor leaders that, oh, they dared to shut down national grid and all that. Yes, that may be unfortunate. But how do you preach to somebody whose mother has just been mauled down by a tiger?
Hmm.
Báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ ṣìpẹ̀ fúnyàn tí ẹkùn pa ìyá ẹ̀ jẹ? But some of these privileged senior editors in Nigeria, because they get their whatever protection from, and I say it boldly, they won't want to take sides with the common people in Nigeria. In
Hmm.
spite of everything in this country, you and I on daily basis, we make more than $200.
Hmm.
Is it not an insult to think that people cannot be paid that in a whole month? And these people, it's not even about, making sure that Nigeria does not record runaway inflation. That Nigeria is not recording this suspected runaway inflation when they take most of what should take care of the generality of the people when they convert it for personal use, embezzlement, aggrandizement, and all that. No, that argument will not feature then. But when it comes to pay it directly so that you can block loopholes, the opportunity of frittering away money or being profligate and all that. In a country where just one governor was able to wake up, he stole, allegedly, so much money and put down close to $1 million for tuition over a time that you don't even know what that one is going to, because we see the children of many of us elites in Nigeria, some of us elites in Nigeria, turn into something that's because of drug problem. They are also pampered. And the children of the poor are doing well every day. We still to protect generations of the children of what's it called? Elite. But the poor that we live to suffer, they always find a way of excelling. And today, there is this opportunity to pay them a living wage, to pay them more than what, to peg a minimum wage for them. Whatever, what's it called? Gymnastics they're doing around that. Good luck to them. But what we know is that 62,000, what is the difference? You say you are making concession. You have moved from 60,000, so you put 2,000 naira on it.
Can you imagine?
These people, they are not sincere. There's no sincerity or purpose in it. They will accuse us of inciting all this kind of stuff and not. That is their own problem. A country where workers used to earn, way back in 1980, where the average, the minimum wage was around around $80-something. Today, you devalue all that. You want to give them less than $100, and then you are garnishing it with some huge naira figure that amounts to nothing. Honestly, I don't find any sincerity of purpose on the part of Nigerian elites. After all, before you did this, companies and industries are already closing. I have some young people who call me all the time. The little I can do, I do. So don't let them come and tell us that this dummy that the economy will collapse and all that. Have they not collapsed the economy before? Before now? Oh, they said it would look like Zimbabwe.
Like before. Yes, before.
Yes, is it not looking worse than Zimbabwe already? So they have all kinds of stuff with which they blackmail all of us. But the whole thing is not about what works for Nigeria. It is what works for them. That person, that idiot who is talking at him, is concerned about Nigeria and saying, no, people should be sent to prison because they turn off this and that. It's already, probably this week alone now, you go and check his account, he must have stolen over $1 billion naira. He must have stolen that much because they are always stealing there. And they don't even think of what will take care of the masses who work. Yes, I do not support keeping people who are redundant in government. I do not support not taking care of vulnerable population. I do not support things like that. But let us strike the balance. Let us work it out. And then we know that we can really pay this. Don't come to me and tell me you cannot pay. In a country where an accountant general stole over 90 billion naira, in a country where they are still tracing more than 80 billion naira to Yaya Bello, in a country where Tinubu and his family could use over 80 billion to do all kinds of trips that has not yielded anything positive for Nigeria, in a country where Tinubu could put 90 billion naira down to pay for pilgrimage to some so-called holy land. Israel are not holy enough. Israel are not holy enough. Is Ghana not holy enough? They don't keep the money within Nigeria and they waste it all. Instead of using it to take care of Nigerian citizens, they come and tell us stupid stuff. I see the way the average Saudi student, because of the oil riches of their country, medical doctors who in training in America from Saudi, They don't get less than $3,000 pocket money from their government every month. Look at the way they abandon Nigerian children everywhere. And then one stupid so-called editor will get on the television and be showing unrighteous indignation about nothing. Pretense. People should be sent to prison for. So they have no right to ask for better life or what? Our people should demand better life. They should not be treated as animals. These people are cocooned in their own tiny world. They don't know. You see, they are like what is called somebody who is using cage to pack eggs. Do you know the pains that chicken, that what's it called? That bird goes through before it can lay the egg? So it is okay to push all kinds of stupid stuff on Nigerian workers, and when they act, they are saying, "Oh, labor leaders should be sent to prison," and then the reading riot. This person I'm even talking of, some of these journalists, they don't talk like professional journalists anymore. They just take sides anyhow. And these are the people that are worst paid, though. But because they have privileges of being close to people in power, they of course they get their packages, they get their honorarium. So they don't even care whether, they don't care whether they are paid any living wage or not. After all, Keske must come. They will get their package. It's not the way they go now. We all know the way it's going.
All right. I see that you saw some conduct over there on TV.
Oh yes. So, some journalists in Abuja, after all, they get their qua. So
brown envelope.
I don't know what but let me use in Nigeria. They get all these things now, so they can care less if the majority of Nigerians die. I think we need to get. I mean, we need to be conscientious.
It was
how we talk about the genuine pains of people.
It was FFK who said brown envelope, accusing.
It is true. There is that phenomenon. Maybe you have heard it about the tabloid. What was it called? Point and kill. What was it called? The one that Donald Trump did now. How they will buy stories and then,
we're talking about human beings. Human beings don't be anybody's mates now. Let me read some comments for you. Shout out to Elizabeth Olayinka Omotayo. She said, federal government is insensitive to the demand of workers. She should cut down jumbo salaries to the politicians. Okay.
Yes, I agree perfectly.
Uncle Beno says, Onanuga is the worst special advisor ever, in my opinion. The economy...
He should go, at 70, he should go back home and advise himself and advise his family first. That guy, honestly, is just provoking all of us, and they said there's nothing you say that he cares about.
There's a question around that.
I always like that.
There's a question around that. He said the economy collapsed on lawmakers' salary and one worry. A senator earns more than American president. Wahala.
Yes.
And then he asked a question. Uncle, please, what's your take on Onanuga's role and statements regarding minimum wage strike?
See, Bayo Onanuga is, let me put it to him, has committed class suicide, not be today. These are guys who pretended and drove all of us on edge with their guerrilla journalism, going after. So now we know the interest. They only misled us all to think that Abacha was the worst. Now we are seeing that they are the worst. And this is what you find with all these left-wing people. Go and study it from Joseph Stalin days in USSR. Wherever you find them in government, these so-called socialists and communists, because that is what they couch. You think they can do better. They always was. They become so authoritarian. They become so illogical, very unreasonable. And, I mean, you cannot compare between the kind of ideology that Bayo Onanuga is, because he's always pretending to be a very good journalist. What good journalist is in him? If he has no human, if he's not humane, if he has no good human feelings, you can't compare between this element and people like Dele Giwa now. You can't compare between people like this and Refu. And yet they want to tell you they are the best. No. They are only the best for people who have always seen them as as whatever. If these are professional, I really don't see them as belonging in the class of the best. Yes, they have. Yes, they have made their contributions fine, making sure that, and they did not do it by themselves. We all contributed as journalists. We contributed as Nigerians in the fight against militarism. But to come around now and use that to want to bamboozle all of us, to pull the wool on our eyes, we say no. And it should stop being unreasonable. In fact, I expect him at some point to begin to look himself in the mirror. If he likes what he sees, I doubt if he would even like it. But this is real evil representation about journalism professionals. By Onanuga is not serving the nation well. It's not. That's why I'm happy when Ogadele Alake came during the screening and he was being bombastic and all that, speaking that kind of English that people used to entice innocent girls in the village. Something ripped out of the page of a dictionary, even if they are not going to add up. I'm happy that he was not made Minister of Information. Look at the man that later became Minister of Information.
Well, Dele Alake was working closely with, who was that?
Yeah, Dele Alake is now the Minister of Solid Minerals, but he would have, because he can be very feisty and combative. That is the attitude you see in in Ebayo Onanuga. They don't know how to be civil. Everything is attack, 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 attack.
Yeah.
I think these people should be reasonable. When you find them in government, they are always worse than. I don't know. It's even better to have a nation without people like them than to continue to have people who are self-serving and they pretend they love Nigeria or love the country than the rest of us. That's why you find them around Donald Trump here too now. They always misadvise.
Chief, Ebini, stomach infrastructure.
Haven't you heard about that haven't you heard about that Odrifa for Mono Mono?
Tell us. Okay.
Because they should think less about their stomach. They should think of enduring policy and development for us as a people. How can you weaponize hunger like this, and then people are saying they want living wage? You'll be threatening them and be saying stuff. What a trash.
I'm looking at a couple of graphs here. Let's round up with this one. 1974, minimum wage in Nigeria, 90. I don't know how valid this is. Let me see. The source is
it will be valid.
World Bank. Okay, World Bank. The 1974, 90,000 naira, equivalent of $228 in 1974. Not at that time, but today's dollars. Okay. 1981, 54,000 naira, equivalent of today, it was 125 then. Okay, so work with me here. 1974, it was 60 naira, equivalent of 228. Today's 90,000 naira. Okay, and then so in that order, 1981, 125 nominal, 54,000 naira, $137 today. 1991, 250, 19,000 naira today, and $49 today. 1993 is reducing.
So today's minimum wage in Nigeria, 30,000. Is it not today, around $20?
Well, today, 2017, we have 18,000.
No,
18,045. 45.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, not today, 2017. Today, I don't have that number. Today is 30, right? It's 30 right now, right?
It's 30,000 naira now. Convert that. $20.
So, not $20.
No.
It's about $20. Yes, correct. Something like that. Anyway, it's just bad.
Is that how to measure progress?
what you're going to find, there's another graph here that I wanted to highlight here. Is from Business Day, and it's showing Nigeria being the lowest. It is $20 today, while
Yeah.
Equatorial Guinea is 224. Mauritius is 240. South Africa is 242. Gabon
Now,
is 256.
all
Morocco
said
is
and done.
315.
Yes. All
Libya
said.
is 325. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm aware. I'm aware of all these figures. This comparative. These comparisons. Now, what I'm telling you,
Yes.
is there any justification for going around describing ourselves as the giants that we are not? I beg.
Yeah, population,
This
population.
what population?
you they
Population that
have
you
you they
cannot
have
feed.
you they have children. You have a lot of children.
Even let me tell you, in the hands of Nigerian politicians, the population census is even a fraud. We may not even be this. We may not be as popular as they claim. It's just
You don't
projection.
think?
I don't believe it. I do not believe it. See, I've been around in Nigeria. Whether honestly, there were times they told
So
us
they will have to
the
deceive the
vote.
World Bank in that respect. They will have to deceive the World Clock.
Are there no agents of the World Bank who don't even touch ground and they just rely on phantom figures to come up with all kinds of projections? What I'm telling you is that I've been around in Nigeria. They were telling us, oh, voting population around Ondo State was 53 million. When actually things began to get tamed, when they started taming the voting process, we found out that not even up to 300,000 people vote in Ondo State at any time anymore now. So where did they get the population that they were using?
Made up, allegedly.
That is what I'm saying. So in the hands of these people, they will have to cook it up, and that margin that is non-existent, whatever resources is supposed to go to them, will end up in the pockets of these glutinous and corrupt politicians and their collaborators who are civil servants anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There are fine literatures around Nigeria that will tell you things that you need to know. If you pick a book like Heroes by the late Professor Festus Iyayi, for example, you will know the people who benefit from all these crises and unfortunate situations. Amongst them, you will find bishops, you will find the chief priests, you will find imams, you will find the generals, you will find the school principals, you will find governors, you will find elected lawmakers, journalists, all kinds. Yet they come around, speak highfalutin words in the name of Queen's English. Their hearts are so evil. May God change all these people and let their thought about the common people, about common folks, let it be righteous. That's all I can say at this moment.
Thank you so much. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, comment. A quick shout out to Uncle Beno and Miss Elizabeth Olanyika Omotayo for hanging out with us in the chat.
I appreciate all of you for hanging out with us. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
We do not take it for granted. You
Yes,
are appreciated.
Thank you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, comment on your way out. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.